On this boat?
Okay, it's a German Type 9C U-boat. There was a number of different types of German U-boats during World War II. Come over here.
World exclusive.
The most common type is what we call a Type 7. Now, within the Type 7, there was a 7A, B, C, D.
What's the difference between those?
In some situations, is how long they were.
Oh.
Now, originally, the first Type 7As had torpedo tubes in the front and one back here, but it was an external tube, not inside the submarine. But then they came up with a dual rudder system, and they were able to move it inside the hull. So,
is this considered a big U-boat, or is it actually small compared to other ones?
The Type 7 was the most common type, and this was actually longer than it. It was designed for certain reasons that, in a sense, didn't come into play in World War II and one of their, at least in their theory of operating these German U-boats. So there was only roughly about 154 of these built versus about 700 of these built.
How many people can it fit in? 54 only, right?
Well, when you get into ships or whatever, we design them, say, for a crew. Now, originally this was designed for a crew of 48. However, you get on board and it's commissioned and they go on sea trials and they go, you know what, we need a guy to monitor this. And if you need one guy, you need, at least on our submarines, three guys.
So usually you don't have a lot of people in a U-boat because, like, I mean, it's really big, but you need like a couple people to, like, you know, run everything, right? Like,
yeah, you run stuff, monitor gauges, and that kind of stuff on a 20 thing. So it was designed for a crew of 48, but then they realized they needed more guys, so they increased the crew size up to 54.
I always thought they have like more than 50 crew
like
members.
100 plus.
I thought it was 100 plus, to be honest.
Our nuclear submarines nowadays have a lot bigger crews. They're a lot bigger than this.
I mean, yeah, they're bigger than that, yeah.
But for them, now they did increase the crew size again up to 59 because they added extra anti-aircraft guns on board, so they needed more guys to help operate the guns and bring ammunition up and stuff like that. So, because they had ready lockers up there, but then there's more storage space below, but you need guys to go. Somebody has to go down and grab it and pass it. You know, I pass it to you and you to him and him to him and so on. So.
Right. So is this boat considered the most famous for the wars and all?
Not really. It's famous because of the fact that we captured it, but there was other German U-boats that had better records and accomplished more than this U-boat ever did.
So is this the first one they made the boat?
No, the British captured a couple submarines earlier in the war, one of them the U-110, but they were trying to tow it back to England and it sank. And then I find the second one a little bit more interesting in a sense is that the U-570 was captured by the British, captured by a British bomber. They happened to surface right under a British bomber, and they sort of like gave up, you know, instead of pulling the plug and going back down, you know. And so they were kind of told, like, stay there until, you know, we get something like, and then they had to get some Navy ships over there, and then they actually towed it all the way back to England, and they studied it, and I think they may have used it, but I haven't read too much into what happened to it after its capture. So.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. All right, take care.
Thank you.
All right.